Well, I just said it, and I'll say it again. Wow. That was quite a day, my dude. That seemed like that took a while. It's 7:30 p.m. on Thursday, the 26th of March, and I'm very, very happy to be where I am, which is back on the Appalachian Trail. My jilted lover. Got a little bit of Chardonnay. Cheers. That's good. Yeah, man. The new pack worked great. I mean, I definitely have some unique soreness and everything, but one thing that I didn't really realize about the pack that I was using historically is that I had basically, because so many things had broken over the years, I had kind of knotted and tied and permanently set so many different straps so that they could never be adjusted again. They were basically like at the tightest possible comfortable point, and I couldn't adjust anything because all of the buckles had broken. But today, walking with the new pack and having the ability to, loosen the shoulder straps and take nearly all of the weight on my hips and then kind of flip that back and forth and be able to kind of move a little bit, like to get some of that static tension out. Like it was a painful 24 miles, but not as painful as it probably would have been in my other pack. But it is certainly something that is inspiring me to think about how I can pare things down even more in terms of weight, It's supposed to possibly rain tomorrow. I mentioned that earlier. And my intention is to wear my sandals during that, whatever it may be. And depending on how that goes, I may end up getting rid of my shoes that I've been carrying, which probably isn't too much weight. It's probably, I don't know. It would be amazing if it was more than 2 pounds. I doubt those shoes weigh very much. But if I can get rid of that, then it would be great. But I'm not to a point quite yet where I'm 100% comfortable with that idea. Having just sandals, I mean, hey, it worked for Jesus, right? But I don't know. It could be. I don't think it would be all that problematic. I've hiked a lot on the trail as well with these sandals, and I was pretty pleased with the results. So it's something that I'm considering. But yeah, my dude, quite a day from the last time I made a clip. I guess I had just left, so I just did 22 more miles, which is certainly a bit more than I might have preferred. But according to my math, this 24-mile day, which actually, again, was only 22, because the 2 miles that were additional were me walking to the grocery store and then walking all the way back to the hostel. But I think that the miles that I did would have equaled, it was another 40 miles on the trail or something like that. I wrote it down. 40.8 miles of trail were done today in my 22-mile jaunt. I'm not sure how accurate that is, because there's also a lot of reroutes through here, and I'm not entirely sure what far out is taking into account when it says how many miles are between two different places, but it matters not. Dude, it was a pretty sweet, pretty chill walk, there were several nice people who offered me rides that I had to decline. The scenery was pretty. There were a heck of a lot of trucks. There were quite a few stations where it was single lane traffic because they were repaving the road. What else? I got to Conorack at about 4 or so, maybe. Yeah, I didn't have service all day. I still don't have service. To anyone who enjoys this show, I wish I could provide you more of a consistent release schedule. But with the walking the way that it is, especially since I'm typically walking in the valleys now, with mountains on both sides of me, like there are certainly a lot more times where I just don't have service. Like when I was on the mountain, it did seem to be that there was like a quote-unquote service side and then a no service side, just in the same way that like one side is like windy and the other side is not. The leeward versus the windward, my dude. Thanks, Compton. Shout out to Compton. And hey, shout out to my parents, too. But yeah, not a lot of service today after leaving Damascus. In fact, literally none, which is a bummer to me, too, because I have now made 2 clips today, and I don't get to hear yet what Notebook LM thought. You know what I'm saying? Oh, well. But yeah, Conorack was cool. I stopped at the little country store there, and, just kind of chilled for about 20 minutes. Had some food, had a Red Bull, talked a little bit with the owners, but not too much. I think that they were probably about to close within the hour or something like that, so they seemed kind of focused on, shutting things down a little bit. And there's another country store that's in Troutdale, which is pretty close to here. Earlier today, I thought that I would walk all the way to Troutville, which would be absolutely insane. I don't know how many more miles that is. It's not that far. But yeah, I might still go there tomorrow, just in case. There's also Troutdale Church Hiker Hostel. And there's also TSS Solutions Mobile Drug Testing Services. So it sounds like a pretty charming place. But yeah, I'm just trying to see. Maybe I have to go through Troutdale regardless, which is totally fine with me. It kind of Troutdale's a little off the trail. I'd have to backtrack. Not that that's the worst thing in the world, but what is that, a Dollar General? Troutdale Depot. I don't know what that means. Quaint town. Great little store, super friendly. We're stopping for a few supplies, fresh fruit and far fresh eggs. Yeah, I'm guessing that's supposed to say farm fresh. I don't think there's any alternative way. Yeah, I'm going to have to go through Troutdale regardless. And then I can cut up to, Atkins? Is that? Yeah, go through Sugar Grove. I'll probably have like coffee and breakfast here like I normally do. But it's going to be hard to resist going to Atkins. I'm pretty sure I actually listened to a clip of my own 2022 podcast earlier today, and I was talking about going through, Atkins has a Dollar General. I'm not going to go to Marion. That's too far off the trail. That would be, I think it's 18 miles from here to get to Marion, and then I'd have to walk through Atkins anyway to get back to the trail. And interestingly, what do we have here? It kind of looks like tomorrow might be a trail day, which, you know what? I think I'm almost ready for that. A little bit of, less static motion. But let's see, I don't really see very many road crossings, what is that? Quarterway Inn? What is that? Some sort of a Appalachian Trail thing? It's like I see, there is a road there. So there is a road there. Ooh, and there's man, this is probably not super interesting to listen to, but this is me kind of starting to do a little bit of logistics, I gotta make sure that everything is accounted for as I move forward, that I have enough food and all that kind of stuff. What is this place? Partnership? Chestnut Knob Shelter? What's the next, major place? I thought it was, Bland, Virginia, but I haven't seen it on the map. Maybe this map, Far Out, which is an awesome guide for the Appalachian Trail, it's a little bit difficult to understand. They make it very well, so the scale is automatically I would say the scale defaults to something that would make sense for people who are walking, but having, Google Maps is such a different scale, and I feel like that's what I'm most used to using. But anyway, that doesn't really matter now, does it? Cool, I'm seeing some options. Wow, okay, I'm getting distracted. I don't even know why I'm looking at that so much. But yeah, dude, Conorack was great, and then kind of walked the rest of the way here in a little bit of not a haze. I mean, I'm definitely tired, I didn't get good sleep last night, and that's one thing that I'm very excited for tonight. Just aside from just scaring the wits out of myself, it should be a very relaxing evening. I have high doubts that I'll see very many people walk by in the morning, if any at all. I've basically teleported to yet another cohort. Whoever's out here now, these are like some real overachievers, like people who are either going really, really fast, or people who started really, really early, like beginning of February or something like that. And that does remind me, in fact, when I was talking with Balsac, she was mentioning, I don't know, she seemed like she was in a bit of a state. I hope I can say that respectfully, just like she was just in the midst of like dealing with the logistics of the enormity of the task that she has assigned herself. And at a certain point, she mentioned that she was like 400 miles behind schedule, which maybe that's why she wanted to go and do the CDT, just because, the Appalachian Trail, if I've said it once, I've said it 1,000 times, it's very hard. I am, in a wistful way, looking forward to being on trail sometime soon. I don't remember how many days now I've walked on the road, but I like the idea of being on the soft, forgiving Virginia ridges for a little bit. But yeah, like, it's just really hard, and it's hard to have a high average because it just takes so much out of you. So I can't remember if that's why she said she was going to go do the CDT instead. I feel like there was something else of a more personal nature, but I could be wrong. In any case, I just thought it was interesting because if she was 400 miles farther on the trail, that would put her around the Shenandoah area, which, to be in Shenandoah now, before April has even begun, would be very, very impressive. Like, that's obviously, if you do the math, it's like mile like 850 or so on the Appalachian Trail. I can't remember exactly. There is this Rockfish Gap where the Appalachian Trail crosses over finally to Skyline Drive, where you finish the Blue Ridge Parkway in just outside of Waynesboro, Virginia. It's like that's one of my favorite spots. Like that, Damascus is a nexus of many things that I have known and loved, such as through hiking, road walking, and also cross-country cycling. USBR, United States Bicycle Route 76, goes through Damascus. And I've been to Damascus just so many times in my life in the past, 6 or so years, 7 years, so that town definitely has a special spot in my heart. But Waynesboro as well has been a spot that just kind of signals a certain type of a security, and then also there's just like a fun place to be. Like, as I think about moving farther and farther north, it excites me because, there are parts of the trail that are objectively easier, and I look forward to, again, crisscrossing in between road walking and being on trail. You can note as a listener, you could plot it probably. Like, it seems, if I had to take a guess, it would be interesting to see what the ratio was. Like, how many days on the road does it take for me to want to be on trail? At this point, I think it might be a 4-to-1 ratio. So if we're breaking up, the week, it sounds like I might enjoy being on the road. I might enjoy being on trail 1 day a week, which I think is fair, like being completely enveloped and, stuck in the woods 1 day a week. That sounds pretty reasonable for like what my goals are and everything. And it might just help to be a general like reset so that I once more enjoy the road. But yeah, today, especially with a new pack that I'm kind of breaking myself into, and then also being a little bit tired from the Damascus time, I think I'll just put it this way. I'm looking forward to tomorrow morning. I'm looking forward to waking up here, taking it easy in the morning, having some coffee, having a breakfast essential, eating some tuna, lessening my load. And yeah, I can't wait to feel what this pack feels like when I'm at like a bare minimum of food and water. Like that's when you can really fly. When you don't feel your pack at all, that is the sweetest sensation. the sweetest taboo. But today, leaving a resupply point, today was not the day for a pack to feel good. It was funny actually watching Lightning, the 16-year-old kid, when he was packing up all the food that he had bought. It was funny just because he was, I guess you could say stressing. He was just like, man, I bought too much food. And honestly, he probably did. But I was telling him, I was like, no, dude, you're just like refining your system. And he's like, there's no system here. And I was like, no. It's like a scatter plot. And, several different points determine a line. And you're just at a point where the line is less discernible because of all the different points. But eventually, I'm sure you're going up and to the right. So I wouldn't even worry about it, my dude. Don't even trip, my dude. And yeah, I'm looking forward to tomorrow. I'm not entirely sure. I definitely bought too much food. There's no doubt about that. But that means that I get to feast as much as I want. So there's no issue with that either. Because if I'm getting into Atkins tomorrow, even if it's sort of towards the end of the day, that means that I probably only needed half as much as I bought. I didn't buy that much. I bought 10 packs of tuna. I refreshed my honey. I also added ginger and cayenne pepper to my mix. So now my trail bowl is coffee, honey, ginger, cayenne, red pepper flakes. Did I say coffee? Because coffee's in there too. And yeah, dude, it's just dialing everything in. I'll tell you too, I set my 10 up so quick. Like this is definitely my ego talking a little bit, but that's okay. But yeah, I'm really pleased with like how quickly I can set up camp and just be like, breathing a sigh of relief, knowing that the struggle, the turmoil, the day is done. As my friend Ben Spiderlegs says, what? Hold on, let me think about this. When you dawn the down, the day is done. So when you put on your puffy jacket, the day is finally done. When you dawn the down, the day is done. And I'm sitting here, I've got my down jacket on, and the day is done. And I'm looking forward to stretching out. Oh man, yeah, I'm sore in some unique ways, and that's okay. I'm like moving my shoulders. Dad, shout out to my dad. Maybe I need to get a new shoulder. Maybe I need to get two. I doubt that would make things better, but man, a new pack day. New pack, new me. You know what I'm saying? So, I know I had two things I think on my list, and that's about as much as I think I can do. So these two things that I wrote down were interesting things that Notebook LM brought to my attention based on some of my recent transcripts, and I thought for the ego dissolution that I am seeking, it would be good for me to try and flesh these out as much as I am able to in my current state. So, one of them was, it was interesting, like, listening to this clip that talked about, I don't remember, it was like, I think I took my most recent 3 transcripts, which I think even just 3 transcripts that are approximately, let's say 30 minutes each, just to make easy math. I think even just 90 minutes of content is outside of Notebook LM's context window, because they got a lot of the details confabulated with like other days and other things that I was talking about. It wasn't exactly precise, which is a bummer, and something that I hope that the frontier AI companies can address and resolve in due time. But yeah, one of the things that they said was that he, meaning me, he wants immortality without mass. And I thought that was really cool, because what they were saying, and this is true, and I hadn't really put it together, but I was like, oh yeah, that is right. Like, one of the things that I've always wanted to do is not die. I think dying is for the birds. Death is like an unnecessary technical problem that humans are currently unable to solve, and it's not something I've ever really been interested in. Respectfully, I saw my mom's father pass away due to cancer, and I remember as like a 5-year-old or a 6-year-old or a 7-year-old or something like that, like seeing him in his hospital bed and just seeing how viscerally unhappy he seemed to be. Maybe he wasn't. Maybe he was in a morphine state of bliss, but his feet were purple, his eyes were closed, and as I stood in the doorway between he and my parents, I just remember thinking, like, that could happen to me. Ostensibly, that will happen to me. Maybe not in this way, but in some way, eventually, I will have to succumb to the exact same thing that my grandfather is succumbing to, which is, the cessation of life. And the Notebook LM podcast that I was listening to was talking about how, my efforts and my desires to digitize my consciousness through these kind of transcripts is a way for me to try to achieve a certain type of immortality with zero drag. Like, I'm not going to have statues erected for me. I'm not going to have a mansion that my children, should I have any, they're not going to inherit that kind of a thing. Everything that I am currently producing, my pathetic offering to the universe, is basically just my thoughts and my feelings. And those don't weigh anything in this format. Again, it's just pure sound. It's vibrations within the air. It's like Morse code. It's just like emptiness and fullness. It's binary. It's zeros and ones. I didn't drink very much water today. Well, no, I did. But my point is that I think this wine is like doing the trick. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't have much resistance from other materials. My body is just kind of very quickly putting it in all the right places. Visceral fat be damned. So yeah. Ooh, I can see the moon in the reflection of my cell phone screen. That's cool. Can't take a picture of that. Yeah, so that was a cool point. I enjoyed that. And then the last note that I made, which was another point that AI brought up, Notebook LM specifically. It asked me to consider, isn't the AI my spiritual fire hydrant? I was going off on a tear about how, a white person going to India to seek spiritual fulfillment is like a dog going and strictly peeing on fire hydrants. It's cliché. It's like it's expected of a certain type of person, like archetypally. And I was thinking about that because it was another challenge to me, and I felt my ego kind of spin up and feel. I felt a certain type of like defensiveness, and so rather than just take that as like a childish tantrum and something that was like, me resisting something that could be a what do they call it? Is it called a learning moment? That doesn't sound right. A teachable moment. I thought, okay, like, yes, I do hear that challenge. That challenge does make sense. If I think that going to India for spirituality is like a worthless pursuit, then me being out on the Appalachian Trail for a similar pursuit actually kind of denigrates my position that if truth is abundant and equally present in like a homeostatic equilibrium kind of way, then it should be accessible no matter where you are. And so I shouldn't necessarily have to do what I'm doing in order to try to tap into that kind of a thing. And I feel like the resistance that I had to that was valid, but I felt overly defensive, egotistically. And so I meditated on that. I reflected on that. And I thought, okay, so what is the kernel of truth that is the most gracious way of understanding why that doesn't sit well with me to think that, like, that I like, why is the AT not India? And the thing that I arrived at was that basically the only reason I like the AT so much, I think, is because of its convenience. I think if I lived in the middle of the country, I probably would do this same kind of a thing with the CDT. And if I lived on the West Coast, I think I would very well possibly do it with the PCT. And if I lived somewhere far in between the three, I probably would figure out another way of achieving the same kind of thing, even if I didn't necessarily... bug just landed on my leg. What are you doing, my dude? So, yeah, it's like... I mean, honestly, I guess it's a matter of laziness. It's just like, if you want to call it that. It's just like, I wouldn't want to travel to India because I don't like flying. I also don't like exchanging currency, and I don't like having to adopt a new cultural, linguistic understanding of a place just to do something that I feel like would have been easier to achieve with less friction, To me, what I'm doing is just like the Taoist way of pursuing what I'm pursuing. What I'm pursuing is like a certain type of humility, I guess. Like, I just want to be stripped away of all of the stuff in so much as I can handle, because God never gives you more than you can, and feel good about what I'm doing for as long as I can possibly hold on to that feeling, I think when it comes to partnership, what I'm seeking is someone who has a similar feeling of like a pursuit of equilibrium and a pursuit of peace, generally speaking. And it just so happens that, like, again, to prove the point, I walked to Amicalola because it was close enough to do that. What's a city in India? I don't know, Bombay. If Bombay was closer to me than Amicalola was, I'd have walked to Bombay and then figured out like some kind of a thing to do in order to pursue kind of what I was pursuing, which I guess, again, in general is just like how pleasant and kind can I be, and how much pleasantness and kindness can I receive from others, such that I don't grow jaded of the thing that I'm doing, which is extremely taxing. Again, the Appalachian Trail is a undeniable beast. It is exhausting. It is, oh man, I mean, even just carrying your backpack as I did today, I mean, that is a struggle in and of itself, let alone the terrain. Those are two separate obstacles that are Herculean in their, stuff. And, yeah, like today I got a righteous beatdown, and I like that. It wasn't easy to get or to accept, but it's probably not easy to be dying of cancer, So, like, choosing to do something like this is like, well, I hope it gives me the fortitude and the resilience to be able to deal with other things in life. I guess that's really what it is. It's like this experience is something that is directly transferable if you have... It's a currency exchange. You know, like, if you have the right mindset for this kind of a pursuit, you can apply the lessons learned to things that have nothing to do with this, and that can be extremely profitable for a human being who is going through life in a certain kind of way, you know. And yeah, you know, been there, done that when it comes to the exact difficulty and the exacting difficulty of the Appalachian Trail. I respect it. I don't want it in so much as I can avoid it as often as possible. Although I am looking forward to it. The Appalachian Trail from Atkins to Bland, Virginia. That sounds nice. It sounds like a novelty at this point, having done all the road walking that I've done. But yeah, it's just like, you know, I guess today was humbling, you know. I got my money's worth today. With whatever it is that I'm doing, which it's really hard to categorize. Whatever it is, today was a good version of it, you know. It was like the elements and everything else, they were just on the other side of my force of will. And yeah, I'm here at the fulcrum point. I'm here at the equilibrium. I did just as much as I could, and that was just enough to get here. And I can't wait to eat a bunch of food, listen to the Stephen King book on writing that I'm listening to, and just relax, finally. Today was a lot of work, for sure. So, yeah, man, living the dream. Living the freaking dream. And come hell or high water, I'll keep doing it again tomorrow. You know, they say even a bad day on trail is better than a good day in the office, and I co-sign that with 100% certainty and agreement. So, with that, I will rip off the top of this wine, which gives you a bonus sip. They don't tell you about this in the store. But if you rip off the top and then fish out the little metallic, like, I don't even know what to call this, the seal, it seals the wine from oxidation, then you have one last sip. We can call this communion. You hear it? There's not much there, but it is one sip. And, you know, this is one small sip for humans, or what did they say? One small step for man, one giant leap for mankind. One small sip for man, one giant sip for mankind. Delicious. I can't believe, I mean, I'm a little bit lost in the sauce, but I can't believe I ever thought it was worth it to not integrate Jesus juice into my life. Alright, I'm going to stop before I get embarrassed. Love you. Bye.